In this session, we are going to see and understand what is ERP. ERP is nothing but an enterprise resource planning system. It's an information system that makes job easy for companies when it comes to collating data, generating report, understanding what is happening inside their organization. This is a good tool for organizations when it comes to decision making. Let us now go and understand what are the objectives of this particular lesson. So learning objectives. First, we'll understand how a traditional information systems work. We'll go and understand how modern information systems work. That is the modern view of information systems. Post that, we'll understand what is an enterprise resource planning system. Then we'll understand the benefits and the challenges of enterprise resource planning system. So let us go with the first one, that is the traditional view of information systems. Traditionally, information systems have been in use basically to improve the efficiency of organization. Let us take a classic organization which has got several divisions in it. The next slide shows the different systems that are there which are helping the different business functions. If you look at the different business functions, here there is manufacturing, accounting, finance, marketing and sales, and human resources. All these are, you can assume that they are the divisions in an organization which has got several business processes. What are business processes? The business processes are those which are the activities that are taken by the respective business functions. Let us take, for example, finance and accounting takes care of budgeting. So budgeting process is a business process. Now let us take, for example, marketing and sales. In marketing and sales, you manage the sales management, basically going ahead and selling as a process is a business process. Human resources recruitment, for example, is a business process which helps in bringing people into the organization. That, for example, is a business process of human resources. If you take manufacturing, inventory control is a business process for manufacturing. So these are the business processes which exist in all these business functions. So traditionally how it happens is each of this unit were taking support of different systems which help them manage these business processes. Like, for example, HR will have a set of systems. These set of systems will help HR function. Next, marketing and sales has got another set of systems which help marketing and sales function. Similarly, each of these units or functional areas, as you call, had each of the systems which help to run their business processes. Even today, we have some companies which are still in this fashion, that each of these systems go and help the business processes of these functional areas. So is this good? Yeah, it is good. It can help in making the systems better. It can help the respective business functions to function in a very efficient fashion. But you also see in this diagram there are two. One side you have the customers, the other side you have the vendors. Are these vendors and customers connected to these systems? The answer is no. You got organizational boundary, and beyond the organizational boundary you have the vendors and customers. This is how the traditional view of systems work. So what if in case a customer wants to know what is happening with respect to a bulk order? Let us take, for example, 100 laptops that he has placed. Whom will he go ahead and connect with? He'll connect with the marketing and sales division. How will he connect? In this diagram, he possibly doesn't have an automated connection. So the customer will go possibly call the marketing and sales person and ask, hey, can you tell me what is the status of my order? So will the marketing and sales person know if it's going to be a customized product that's going to be manufactured for this customer? Can he look at his systems and give details to the customer? The answer is no. So what would the organization do, or the person in sales and marketing do? He would connect with the manufacturing person, and the manufacturing person would then look at the system, get the details, and give it back to the marketing and salesperson, who will in turn give this information to the customers. So you would see that there is no seamless integration. Now let me give another example for this. Suppose the customer wants to know what is my bank balance. Let us assume all these functions are happening in a bank. You got accounting, finance, marketing and sales, and HR. Now if it is the traditional view of systems and the customers are not connected to the systems, then the customer has to go to the bank, check with the finance and accounting team of the bank, telling, can you please give me the details of how much is my bank balance? And the person sitting there would possibly check into the system and give the details. This is the way business used to happen. Does it happen in the same fashion now? The answer is no. So what has changed right now? So think for a while and see how you can make a change in the system for it to be seamlessly connected. You can take a minute and think to make modifications to the system so that it becomes completely integrated. You can pause the video, try, and then go ahead. Yeah. So you would have possibly thought of different options. One option could be, you would say, I'll connect all of them together in the crisscross fashion so that all these systems are talking to all these business functions. That could be one way of doing things. The other way of doing things is, bringing things together by connecting each of this to each of the other in this fashion, right? This could be the other way of doing things, that you're going to connect each of these functional area with each of these systems. That could be other way of doing it. Or some of you might even have thought that, can I combine all these systems together and ensure that this combined system is connecting to each of these business process? That could be a way of changing the existing view of traditional systems. But what happens to your customers on one end and the vendors on the other end? They also have to be brought into the system. So did any one of you try connecting them into the system as well? Yeah, that also would make change. Today, if you want to know how much is your bank balance as a customer, you can easily get into your net banking app and find it, which means you're talking to an information system without going ahead and asking a person who's owning that business function in an organization, right? So that is what is the traditional view of information system. So traditional view of information system looks something like this. You see, there is a huge difference. One, the vendors and the customers get connected into the system. You got all the business processes, which is called the enterprise-wide business processes, mapped into one system. And all the functional areas, be it manufacturing, accounting, human resources, sales and marketing, and finance, get connected to this one system. So this one system becomes the core for all business functions. And that one system is called an enterprise system, which means the enterprise, the entire enterprise is being run with this one system, and hence it's called an enterprise system, or it is also called an ERP, or an enterprise resource planning system. Can you think of the limitations of this and the challenges of this? You can pause and possibly think over it. I will then explain in the next few slides. Okay, so there is good, positive and negative about these systems. Before we go with that, let me define. Enterprise systems can integrate business process of an entire firm into a single software that allows information to flow throughout the organization. That's what we saw now. Basically, the focus is on what is happening inside my company. So the focus is on internal processes. It also might include transaction with the customers and the vendors, but the focus is inside. So what are the benefits? You would have written it. Check if you got any one. It is one organization. So the firm structure is one organization, which means you get one company, one software, which is very good. Second, anyone in the company with proper security and process controls can understand what is happening inside the company. So you basically get firm-wide knowledge-based processes. You want to know what's happening, you can get it. The third one is one platform. Not anyone using any system, like manufacturing using one set of systems, accounts using the other set of systems, doesn't happen. So it's going to be one unified platform. Next, you also have efficient customer-driven business process because you're connecting customers. So customers know what's happening. So these are all beautiful advantages that you have of having an enterprise system. Next, let us go with the challenges. Yes, it is tough. It is not easy to build something like this because it requires changes in the fundamental way the business operates. You say, I have been doing a particular business process in particular fashion. I'll continue to do this fashion. No, it cannot happen. You might need to change certain way in which the business operates. And that is tough because it's change. And change management is always difficult. Next, you might also require complex piece of software because it's not one software, everything integrated into one. And of course, a lot of time, money and expertise is needed along with good amount of technology. So that's also a tough one. That's the second biggest challenge. Next, you would have seen everything is one system. So it's all about being centralized. So centralized organization is not the right way to do because not the best way to take decisions when everything is centralized. What happens if the centralized system fails? That's a bigger challenge to address. So if you got one system and that system fails, then you will not be able to go and do your business at first place. So that's a bigger challenge that you have. So let me conclude. We have understood what is ERP, basically Enterprise Resource Planning System. That is the first thing we understood. We also understood what is traditional view of information system, what is modern view of information systems. We then went ahead and understood what are the benefits of using an enterprise system and what are the challenges of using the enterprise system. Before I conclude, let me also tell you, to meet the challenges, can you think how organizations go ahead and mitigate these challenges? Talking about centralized, one system, what if this system fails? Let us take for example a stock market, everything run through one system, or railways which is doing railway booking, everything run through one system. What do they do if that system fails? Can you think over? Possibly that could be taken as an assignment. Think what organizations do to mitigate the challenge of these centralized ERP systems. Try to answer it and post. We'll go with the next session now. Thank you.